It's June the 24th today, and my friends Brian and Anita have kindly brought me to Haida Gwaii with them. So we're not sure how many days we are going to spend here, but this is our first day and our first hike, and we're on the Anvil trail. It's a 5-kilometer loop trail. So I'm very excited to see where this goes. We are definitely in the rainforest. What is this, Anita?
This would be false lily of the valley. It flowers a little white flower, which is pretty much finished here, and then it turns into seed pods.
Yeah. Very lush in this rainforest. Wow.
It's everywhere.
There's lots of patches. We are in some dark woods to begin with. Wow. You can tell that no forest fires go through here.
The woods are silent, dark, and deep. And I have miles to go before I see.
I hope you heard that. This is one of the more densest trails that I've ever hiked in. Wow. So many trees down and just left to rot. You can just imagine the nutritious soil.
Those raindrops on there, they look like green jewels on there.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Okay, this is so neat. Wow. Just so surreal in here. Interesting bird sounds too. It rained throughout the night on my tent. It was quite a nice sound, but I'm so grateful that it's not raining right now. What a blessing. This is just an amazing trail. It is certainly well marked. There's no getting lost here. I read that Haida Gwaii has the largest black bears in the world, but they're not to be feared because they're well fed. So I'm comforted by that fact. I didn't bring my bear spray, but I sure would love to see the world's largest black bear. Wouldn't that be amazing? And there are no grizzlies on this island, so that's comforting as well. That's the biggest uprooted tree system I have ever seen. To see, but this is the other side of that root system, and there's 2 trees that have fallen, so that makes sense, but it's still massive. You can see that this is new growth and old growth forest. I guess there was a forest fire through here in the 1800s, 1840s, so it's interesting to see the new growth. New growth is in 150 years. There's Sitka spruce and western hemlock in here, and red cedar that's making up the majority of this trail. You know, I am very smart. I think that my rain jacket and rain pants were a very good investment. I'm so glad I brought them to Haida Gwaii. Being brushed, even though it's not raining, of course there's rain on the trees and shrubs that I have to walk through. Look at that twisted tree. That is very interesting. This pathway has lots of twists and turns, and you don't know what you're gonna see around each bend. I just love the intrigue of it. In case you didn't know, these islands that we're on this week was known as the Queen Charlotte Islands. But I read a really neat story that really touched me. So in 2010, the Haida Gwaii peoples approached the BC government and said, "We would like to give you back your name." I thought that was such a polite way of saying it. And the government accepted. And so now it is known as the Haida Gwaii. And they have changed all the signs. There's no remnant of it being the Queen Charlotte Islands. And what a major undertaking that would have been to change everything and have a new thought process. But that made me think of how it's gonna be. Jesus is gonna come back and claim his land, and he's gonna claim his people and give them the name that he wanted them to have from the beginning. What a neat analogy, I think.
See, these haven't bloomed yet either.
No.
Whoa, there's a huge hole there.
I
Did you
know.
see that?
Yes.
You didn't warn me.
I'm sorry.
If my pole hadn't found it, I wouldn't have seen it.
Oh. Just gorgeous. It's got an orchid face on it.
Yeah, it's an orchid, but it's got that lip with a purple tongue in there, and the two wings, and then the pistil up here in the little cap. The orchid.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, Anita's nice and short.
Yeah.
What's the rest of us gonna do? What a lovely fern forest this is now. Ah. And now we're back at the river again. Just glorious. That's the most upright, rotten tree I have ever seen. So I am really enjoying a Haida Gwaii. Not one single mosquito yet. And we are by a big body of water. And it's a fairly still body of water. That is great. I highly recommend coming to Haida Gwaii. Look at this tree. Now this is the tallest rotten tree I've ever seen. And then way up there is a big
Oh, maybe that's the one they're talking about.
bulging. Oh man, that could disintegrate any second. Did I mention with how well the trail is marked? This is great. It's hard to tell on camera the scale of some trees. This is the cranky part of the trail. Ugh. We need to let Brian lead. Oh, sugar. Bummer.
That's where your boots are good.
How is it that I'm the first one having to go down this?
Thank you, trail people, for this rope.
Oh, no kidding.
Even get some sunshine today. Just amazing. All right, this is the largest rotting tree I have ever seen. Forget those behind us. This one takes the cake. Look at how massive this is.
Yeah, you can tell that's when there's someone standing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, here's that big boy bear. All right, so this is the Tlell River. And usually in Haida Gwaii, the rivers only have runs of pink salmon on even-numbered years. But this river is unique in that it hosts a run of pink salmon every year. So we should come back in September, I guess. Moss is so thick. I just love the sun-dappled trail now. What a blessing. Sunshine. Uh-huh. How are we supposed to get over this one?
That might be an around one.
Oh dear. You wonder who lives in these trees. You can just imagine. Well, the Healing Hiker rating for this trail is a 4.5 out of 5. It is a very well marked trail, and we went off on a couple of rabbit trails, but you could find your way back easily to the trail. There's lots of wonderful signage. However, it's not an obstacle-free trail. So I would recommend bringing hiking poles. I fell once, and thankfully it was a nice soft landing, but I wouldn't have fallen if I had my hiking poles. And there's no epic views or anything like that. However, there are no mosquitoes and is an amazing surreal forest, old growth and new growth. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend coming here if you are anywhere near this area. Be sure and check out the Anvil Trail. So until I see you again in my next video, thank you for watching, and assalamu alaikum, shalom, peace.